To order. What is it? It's about a quarter after 4, 4:13 or so. Could you go ahead and note the attendance? We do not have quorum today, so we'll not be able to do any official business, but if you could note the attendance, please.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Ferris, hold on just a minute. I want to make sure that, okay, we're good.
Okay. So if you could do roll call for attendance.
Absolutely. Commissioner Drowdowski?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Durham?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Newman? No Commissioner Newman. Commissioner Reed? No Commissioner Reed. Commissioner Saleh? No Commissioner Saleh. And Commissioner Simpson?
Here.
Thank you. And Commissioner Ferris?
Here.
Thank you.
Do we have any additions or deletions from the agenda?
No, we do not.
Okay. We will hold off on approval of the minutes until next month's meeting. Is there any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Any old business?
No old business.
And then we have new business, H-01-22 at 28 Woodmer Lane. If we could please have the staff report for that.
So, good afternoon, Commissioners. First off, it's good to meet all of you. My name is Travis Sullivan. I'm the new planner. I wrote the staff report on this item today, so obviously I'll be presenting to you. This item is for a replacement of some original double-hung windows at 28 Woodmer Lane, located in the Merritt Woods Historic District. The Merritt Woods District was platted in 1921 and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1994. The district generally includes colonial revival and English Tudor revival single-family residences. This residence that you're looking at here today would fall pretty closely aligned with the Tudor style of residences that are pretty common in the neighborhood. The building has a brick finish, and again, that's pretty consistent with a Tudor style building. What you're looking at today, again, is the replacement of the 14 original double-hung windows on the property. The windows as they are right now have storm windows that have been placed over the top. The storm windows, either through just natural aging or improper maintenance over the years, have sort of encouraged the gathering of water along the sills, and have led to some degradation of the frames and the window sills. In addition to that, the applicant has stated that they've had issues with carpenter ants as well, and so that's further deteriorated the original windows that are there. Now, what the applicant is proposing is a replacement of those windows. Again, the originals are wood. They're proposing to use a vinyl window to replace those. Now, typically, obviously, we're looking to replace an original resource with something that matches as closely as possible. However, taking into account sort of the visual or aesthetic appeal of the proposed replacement material, as well as understanding that there are costs, and sometimes pretty significant costs, that can come with the applicant trying to do a complete one-for-one replacement. And so what the applicant is proposing, again, is a vinyl replacement. The applicant has selected windows that will replicate the grid pattern that the originals have. They also match pretty closely with the existing single hungs that are also on the building. You'll notice as well that if this were to be approved, the applicant can then remove the existing storm windows and then re-expose that grid pattern on the exterior so that you don't have sort of that reflection and that glare that sort of obscures that grid pattern that's currently there with those storm windows hung over. Additionally, by removing those storm windows and by replacing these with these black vinyls, the black will match the color of the existing windows that will remain on the home. And again, that'll at least bring some color uniformity to everything. I believe the applicant is here, obviously, this afternoon to answer any questions that commissioners may have. And then I could also additionally try to answer anything.
Great, thank you for that. Mr. Thomas, welcome. Sorry for the delay today.
No, that's all right.
Commissioners, do we have questions for Mr. Thomas? It seems pretty straightforward. No questions at all? I think that this will look really nice. I like the way that you have replicated the grid pattern with the new windows, trying to match up to the aesthetic of the old. I think that that will look very nice. And living in a historic house myself, I understand the cost prohibitiveness of replacing with all wood windows. It's quite
They're
extravagant.
expensive, yeah.
So, again, any questions?
Your time schedule to get things moving, when were you hoping to get going?
This weekend.
This weekend?
But I understand the board's, the board's timeframe and constraints on quorum. And I suppose we're held to the rules of this board.
Yeah, I don't know, is there any way to move forward a vote virtually, or?
Well, the bylaws give the body the ability to call a special meeting if you want to reschedule a special meeting, but you would only be able to do that in between the next meeting by 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're not really saving much or improving by much. I mean,
Are you-
you, I appreciate, but
Yeah.
it's,
Are you using a contractor for this?
We are.
They're not easy to schedule these days, are they?
Well, they're not, but the quote is ready to go. It's basically my signature and a check, and we're off and running.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to be part of a special meeting in 2 weeks.
You're proposing for a special meeting?
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
So we have a motion on the floor to hold a special meeting that has been supported. Is there
Can
just-
we even vote without a quorum to hold a special meeting?
Oh, yeah, can we vote on that?
No.
Handcuffed.
I'm just
Understand.
checking the bylaws on that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I think he's checking the bylaws right now just to see what they say.
Can be held at any time at the call of the chairperson or at least three members. Or shall be called by the request of at least 3 members of the commission.
So we can vote on it,
Yeah,
Marcel, that works?
yes, it does.
okay?
I had it open beforehand. For some reason, I closed it.
No, that's fine. It's hard with so many boards and commissions and different bylaws. So do we need an actual vote of these 3 members, or do they just need to state that they would like to hold a special meeting?
The language of Section 3 just says, "or shall be called by request of at least 3 members of said commission." Notice of the time, place, and purpose of any special meeting shall be given to each member not less than 1 day in advance of such meeting. So the next thing would be to make sure we can schedule
Right.
this space and publish. So we will have to find how soon we can do that.
Do you recall offhand the publication day requirements?
So we can notify a publisher on Monday, and on Thursday they can have it published, but by Monday,
And then how far in advance of a meeting does it have to be published?
2 weeks in advance.
What we could do to expedite, because that, we wouldn't hit this week's shopper. We could expedite by doing publication into the Enquirer. We typically don't do this from a cost perspective, but could do in this instance. This would still allow us a 14-day period if we get that submission tomorrow for the Wednesday publication.
Does that get this to March 9th or March 8th?
Well, the publication, if we submit it tomorrow, would be in Wednesday's Enquirer. So 2 weeks would be March 2nd, so anytime after March 2nd, the body could choose.
Could I propose a rule change that the board denies this meeting and pushes it back to the planning commission to make the decision?
The planning commission?
The planning department, Travis.
Okay.
Basically. Yes. So that it's not a board review and that even
I
the
don't think
discussion
we can
today
do it
is
that way.
required that there's no further review of this required from the board and that it would be able to be approved administratively.
Is that a possibility?
I'll look at the ordinance.
And do we have enough of a quorum to make that decision?
Without identification of the special clause that Marcel is looking at, offhand, I would say it's probably not possible. Staff is able to do minor class of work rules administratively, but this is before the body because it does not fall within that. So my preliminary assessment is that it doesn't allow for it, but that's
Whatever we can do for the homeowner, because I think this is kind of a stuff shot. And time is money.
if we were to reconvene and do a special meeting after the second, which would allow for the 14-day publication, I would propose that in our discussion today, we collectively, with those here, identify a day that works best. And before scheduling that special meeting, that what we would do is we would contact the additional commissioners who are not here today to ensure that we have quorum for the special meeting, and then schedule it.
So, and you said it has to be any time after March 2nd, which is a Wednesday. Finding anything, Marcel?
Marcy? HGC, after further review, it doesn't require publication. It would only be PC and ZBA.
I didn't,
What Vanessa is saying is that there are no 14-day publication requirements for HDC, which allows us to expedite a special meeting date earlier than a 2-week period of time.
oh, good.
Do we still have to give, what is it, 18-hour notice or so for a public meeting?
Open Meetings Act.
Yeah. Okay.
You would have to do that as well. As to the question about denying or disapproving the application, I'm not sure that this is the route the body would want to go. Section 1470 point, make sure I'm 09. 1470.09G provides, H provides that if the Historic District Commission disapproves the application, its decision is binding upon the Building Inspection Department and the Planning and Community Development Department. A denial and the reasons therefore shall be in writing and filed with the Building Inspections Department and furnished to the applicant. The denial shall also include the notification of the applicant's right of appeal to the State Historic Preservation Review Board and to the Circuit Court. So appreciate where the thought lay. It's not going to help. And that just explains
Complicated.
why.
So,
My recommendation would be, we have 3 members that have requested a special meeting. Why don't we wrap things up today, put out a doodle poll to see how we can reconvene as soon as we possibly can in this space and go from there. I'm really sorry that we didn't have the quorum today. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you coming here today, and I'm sorry that we're not able to make this decision for you. How is the rest of the group feeling about that plan?
obviously, so the soonest we could have another meeting is now what date?
18 hours from right.
18 hours?
Yeah, we have to put it out 18 hours in advance.
Can it be a Zoom meeting?
It has to be in person
Has to be
because
in
of Open
person.
Meetings Act.
Okay. To make sure that there's no event planned here, or we can, does it have to be in this room? Okay.
Yeah, there are other facilities available too, but, does that sound okay with folks though? Like, put out a poll to make sure that we can get quorum?
I guess,
I don't-
what guarantee do we have we'll have a quorum at the next meeting?
Yeah, I guess that's,
Up to our quorum wranglers.
yeah. I think that would, yeah, we just have to put out some sort of a poll to see how we can get quorum together.
I'll do everything I can to be there.
Yeah, my schedule is pretty flexible. I know I don't count towards quorum, but
We need to vote on this?
You do not.
Marcel's shaking his head
We
that
do
a
not.
vote is not
Yeah?
needed.
Okay,
I mean, you don't have a date to,
right.
you're just going to, you're going to make the call. I think three of you have already said you want to do that. Now we have to find that date and time, and then the three of you will formally make that call for this special meeting.
So you do need a date and time now, or you,
You'll need that before you formally make the announcement of when it will be.
okay.
And it's going
I
to be at
gotcha.
the request of the three of you.
And that can be
We
done,
decide,
and that request can be made via email, is that correct? Okay.
can we decide now, whatever the soonest date that we can schedule?
Oh,
full quorum?
absolutely.
Yeah, I think by the latest, next Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
But we
agree
need to
that,
make sure we have quorum, which means reaching out to the absent members and work with.
Tag, you're it. We'll back whatever you come up with,
Got it. Absolutely.
unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning or something.
so that doesn't sound like something we can figure out here, because we need to
No.
discuss it with the other folks.
But it sounds like we have a game plan,
Okay.
so, sorry.
Okay. We cannot approve meeting dates without quorum, so we'll move on to any comments by the public. Mr. Thomas, did you have any additional comments? Okay. Comments from commission members and staff?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so I guess we will adjourn this meeting. It looks like it's about 4:30 right now. Thank you. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.